Today is the day of days then, season finale, season 3 of Nottingham Forest. We are all but safe in the league. We are anything but safe in the job. The gap to Brentford is currently 7 points. And 8 points, should I say. And there are 9 points available. Bournemouth have an extra game in hand, so they could come up to 31 after 35 games played, meaning the gap would be 6 points with 9 points available. So we need 4 points today to guarantee Premier League safety for next season for Nottingham Forest. I probably need more than 4 points today to guarantee that I'll be the one in charge in the Premier League at Nottingham Forest next season. Our goal difference is much better than those below us as well. We haven't conceded that many goals all year. We just weren't scoring any. Up step Jonathan David, who's popped up. Cost me a pretty penny, but he's popped up and he's banged them away, and we're very indebted to him for that. Everton to play to start. Win that will go above them because they're on 39 points and we're on 37. That would be 13th place in the league. Then Liverpool at home and Newcastle at home to round out the season. Hoping then to maybe finish as high as 11th if other results go our way. But fingers are crossed. We shall wait and see if that's enough. Probably going to need some goals and some good football too. Drop the video a like if you're enjoying this save and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on what comes next. Whether that be Season 4 at Nottingham Forest or something different if I get the sack. We shall find out in, for you guys, probably about half an hour's time. For me, about 2. Let's see what happens. 4-3-3 for Everton. Robin Zentner is still their goalkeeper at 77 rated. Not the best. Jordan Tezzi, Unai Nunez, Josue Chiamulera and Adrien Truffert at left back. So strong enough defence. Alan, Pepelu and Dele Alli, strong enough midfield. Jeremy Pino, Damari Gray and Rafa Mir up top. Strong enough front line. So, I mean, they're mid-table. Fair enough to them. They're having a decent season, given the nature of Everton's performances the past 2 years IRL. One thing to point out to you, look who's back on the bench. Michael Elise is back from injury and will take over the squad spot from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who I'll probably sell in the summer, should I keep my job. Can't believe I have to keep saying that. Right, Nottingham Forest versus Everton then. I was going to say Selhurst Park. At Goodison Park. It's actually Everton versus Nottingham Forest that's playing above me as well as the highlighted game prior to Super Sunday starting. So I'm hoping to actually get more than the 1-1 draw that these two sides played out in this exact fixture, IRL, this past weekend. Please, oh please, oh please, can we get 3 points? I need to make sure my manager rating is as high as possible to give me the best possible chance of keeping my position come next year. But Omar Richards is going to certainly have to do better than that. Oh, it's a lovely bit of footwork from Jeremy Pino, and Pepelu has the option in the middle. Unai Simon makes the save. Jeremy Pino can't get rid of it. Can't get it towards goal again. Sorry, we will get rid of it. Jonathan David will go out wide to Martin Terrier. Into Mangala, but I am going to try and come back to Terrier if I can. If he's onside here through that gap, which he was, then play it into Jonathan David, who's past the defender and doesn't give us a 1-0 lead. But that was an exceptional save by Zentner. Probably should have given us a 1-0 lead, to be honest. Get this to the edge of the box if I can. It's Mangala. Cross here. It's Callum Hudson-Odoi, but I can't find him, unfortunately. 15 minutes in. Really good chance to make it 1-0, but we haven't taken it. Big switch. Nico Williams trying to get there first. Former Liverpool man, of course. Truffert gets to it. And Damari Gray inside there to Rafa Mir. He scored Everton's goal, of course. This weekend just gone. It was Ryan Yates grabbing the goal. No, it wasn't. It was Ryan Yates that had the shot that led to Brennan Johnson scoring the goal for Forest IRL. And obviously he can't do that for me now in this save because I haven't got him anymore. He's gone to Arsenal. Now, Callum Hudson-Odoi has been a great source of goals for us in this save since he came in January. Willock feed that through the gap. Terrier out of his feet. Oh, and out of the goal. Wide of the target. We're playing well, though. Some good build-up play. We just need the accuracy of finish now. Into Pepelu. Lofted. Can Omar Richards get there? Yes, he can. It's not great in the air, as we've mentioned a couple of times, but given the opportunity to challenge, he will at least have a go. It's just that more often than not he gets beaten aerially, but that wasn't much of a duel. Thankfully it was just a loose ball and he was able to intercept it. They might go out to this right-hand side now, which indeed they do. Damari Gray is in behind Nico Williams. Not the best of positioning from me with my fullback. Here comes Truffert and into Deli. Rafa Mir, good block by Niakate, vitally intercepted. Dele Alli gone to Besiktas on loan, I believe, IRL from Everton. What a fall in his career when he was having excellent performances at Tottenham. The links to Real Madrid were afoot and the world was his oyster. Now he's ended up going to Everton, underperforming there by not, I don't know what the reasons are. A lot of people throw around the not putting enough effort in excuse. And now he's off to Turkey, which by all means, Besiktas are a great side in Turkey. But when it comes to European terms and as a comparison between Tottenham and those Real Madrid links, it really doesn't compare. Dele Alli has fallen off the wagon. Yes, his career is still very good. He's still an exceptional footballer. He's still going to be earning a really, really healthy wage. But he's not going to be winning the calibre of title, calibre of trophy that I'm sure he would like to. He's buried it there. But unfortunately for Joe Willock, he was offside. No 1-0 lead for us here. Oh, it's a lovely ball into Rafa Mir from Yeremy Pino. And if it weren't for Lucas Klaassen getting stuck in, we surely would have been going 1-0 down there. Everton have created some good chances in this half. We've had to put in some vital interceptions in the box or blocks to ensure that they haven't scored. Rafa Mir with a couple of good opportunities. Yeremy Pino with one too. Thankfully, it's still 0-0 at the break. We could have gone 1-0 up, maybe even 2-0 up ourselves. We have had the ball in the back of the net, but continually it's scoreless here at Goodison Park, as it was in real life until about the 80th minute. I would certainly like to score earlier than that, and then I'd also like to hold on to the lead, which is something that Forest didn't do IRL either. We've had a couple of good chances ourselves. Neither side really finding the ultimate finish that they need, nor the pass, evidently, either, to get the goal to take the advantage in this one. We know that 4 points sees us safe, but I was kind of hoping to get 3 here with Liverpool on the horizon and leave me just needing a point against Newcastle. But as Everton take the lead here and Rafa Mir finally does find a way through, we're now very much on the back foot. Nice ball back to him, and there was no stopping that. We are 1-0 down. Only his 6th goal in 22 games for them, Rafa Mir, this season. But it is a goal that gives them the lead here at home. I very much need to find an answer to it. Lost the ball immediately there. Dele Alli winning it back. Off Jacob Ramsey, who just was really poor with his first touch. Decent delivery. Keeper hasn't come. And how Rafa Mir hasn't made it too, I couldn't tell you. He's actually going off the field now. That's his last action. Dele will take the corner. He's looked for Yeremy Pino. He's not going to be winning any headers. Nico Williams gets there. Rafa Mir off. Who was it that's come on? It's Luke Castellanos. And here he is. And it squirmed onto the keeper, but thankfully he got enough on it to ensure that it didn't keep the momentum going and get all the way through towards goal. Well, Everton so very close on 2 occasions there to extending their lead. Jacob Ramsey will look for Jonathan David, but again, not got the pass. We're getting close, but we haven't gotten as close as Everton because they've actually done it. Thank you, Damari. I appreciate that. We'll have the ball back. Only 20 minutes to go, though. Really not long to try and turn this around. Is Michael Elise the man to come off the bench, inject a little bit of extra energy, and help us turn this round? Ramsey to Williams. Down the line there to Hudson-Odoi. Here's Jacob Ramsey. I'm going to switch it. We try and put the pressure on in these last few minutes. Nice movement there by Mongala to find the space. Jacob Ramsey, not really initially providing me with a good option. Hudson-Odoi. Ramsey's there again, and he's bursting. And he's turned the man, looking for Jonathan David, who's turned his man. Oh, surely. What a move. What a move. Nottingham Forest level in quite some fashion. We did that at the end of the first half and got the ball in the back of the net and it didn't count. This time it does. Just an extra little bit of composure and patience. I could have pulled the trigger with Jonathan David there. when I turned the defender on his left foot. But we've done that a couple of times. I could have pulled the trigger there, but it was only surely going to get blocked. And both defenders drew across with Jonathan David. Such is his reputation as a deadly goal scorer. Leaving the space for Jacob Ramsey to just be like, give it to me, pal. I'll put it in the back of the net. I'll make sure of it. 1-1. We might yet get a point. We might yet, maybe, sneak all three. Pepperloop into Castellanos. And Davis to Castellanos again. Jeremy Pino, good footwork. Why he's dinked that, I'm not sure. It's actually cost them possession there. Terrier. Oh, Martin, no, mate. That's not good enough. Castellanos back to Jeremy Pino. Hallen stands it up. Niakate will win this, surely. Can Terrier win this? He can. 3.5 minutes to go. Mangler needs a bit of acceleration here just to get away, and he's done that well. Into Michael Elise. I've got runners around me. Jacob Ramsey is one, and he's taken that in his stride well. I'll look for Jonathan David, looking to return the favour from the first goal, but it's not going to find its way through. And I don't think either side are going to find a winner here, because that's overplayed, and I'll nod it home. 2 minutes added on, though. If we can get this forward quickly, there might be a chance. Terrier. Jonathan David's on the run. The ball's not quite good enough. All right, we'll take the point against Everton. A point against Everton. We imagine we'll probably lose against Liverpool, but we'll try and take something from the game. And then we will have to beat Newcastle at the end. We weren't quite creative enough in that one, but we'll take the point. And looking for a win or 2 further draws to ensure survival. We're still 14th, and we are 8 points clear of Brentford. So we're safe from Brentford. Bournemouth have a game in hand but can only go to 31. We are safe. Premier League survival confirmed for Nottingham Forest. Now it's a case of how high can we finish? How well can we try and save our league, our managerial position? We are 2 points above Leeds and 4 points above Burnley. 5 points above Villa, but they have a game in hand. Above us, Brighton have 2 games in hand and are a point clear. Everton level on games played, but 2 points more. That's why it was so vital. I really wanted to win in that game. Southampton are only 3 points above us, but they do have a game in hand. And 11th, evidently, as you can see, from Leicester on 48. 11th is all we can hope for. 45 is my managerial rating. I hope that's enough. I fear it might not be. But we do have 2 games left to try and change that in the positive. We were going to talk about my contract. No, we weren't. We were never talking about your contract, mate. I never said anything about your contract. Let me guess. Transfer request. We have not once spoken about his contract, and the contract thing in the bottom right has a green tick. Shitty bug that is only going to continually negatively affect my managerial rating. So, it's going to cost me £1.5 million, though, to release him. I've not got a choice. I think I'm going to have to release Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to try and save my job. Sorry, Alex. You're out the door, pal. I can't take that negative morale, and it's a bug as well, more so. So I don't want to lose my job to a bug. Him never saying anything to me about his contract, and then saying you were going to talk to me about my contract, and put in a transfer request where I then physically can't do anything about it. That's the game not being coded properly. So I was going to sell him at the end of the season anyway. Should I keep my job? I was going to replace him anyway. He's just gone on a free rather than me gaining about £10 million from him, which is frustrating, but it's probably better for my managerial chances to release him now and not have that negative impact on my overall manager rating than have the negative impact on my manager rating and then try and sell him next year, because I might not keep my job because of it. Liverpool then Alisson in goal, Trent, De Ligt, Bremer and Andy Robertson, Marino, Julian Brandt and Curtis Jones, who's wearing the captain's armband, Diogo Jota at centre forward with Salah and Luis Diaz either side of him. Really strong Liverpool team this, expecting defeat but hoping for something more. Oh, I'm trying to play the pass. He's onside here, Mo Salah. How has that gone in? Unai Simon, mate. Your near post is the weakest part of this entire squad. I was powering up the pass, but how has Mo Salah on his right foot got that in? Unai Simon, mate. You are gone, pal. What did Stuart Robinson just say? Just not good enough. And I agree. He's fucking useless. Last time we played a side that were this good, they beat me 6-0, Manchester City. I'm desperately hoping that's not the case here because I really might get sacked then. Klosterman races onto the ball. Denies them the throw. We'll get it down the line as well. Hudson-Odoi in behind. And I've got so many men over here. Just need to find the right pass. That wasn't meant for you, Joe. It was meant for Jacob Ramsey. Terrier's in space, though. Sorry, mate. Goal! Nottingham Forest! If Alisson doesn't push me there, I shoot with Terrier and he stands a better chance of saving it. But the fact that Alisson rushed me, I was like, I'm squaring it. We're making sure we get this equaliser. Borderline offside. It was very, very tight. You'll see, try and judge it with the lines on the pitch. I think he might have even held his run a little bit there, Jacob Ramsey. We will have a look. I mean, that is as tight as it comes, really. That is as close as it comes. Across the line. Connection made there. It's a matter of inches. Maybe even a matter of millimetres. But he's onside. And we equalise. If we can take a point against Everton, a point against Liverpool, and a win against Newcastle, I'll be thrilled. Curtis Jones. Down the line to Luis Diaz. This is good from Liverpool. Jota has the option. Nice tackle. Still they come forward. Still they can't keep it. Go on. Oh, that pass needed to be better. Callum Hudson-Odoi, please be onside. Ah, you bastard! How is he off? It's so tight. Andy Robertson's with him. That's onside! I'm sorry, that's onside. I'm not having that. I'm on there. We're in, and I had a man to square it to again as well. We could have been 2-1 up there. If it was tight for the first goal, it was tighter still for that. Mo Salah to deliver from the wide area. It's not the greatest of corners, and Hudson-Odoi will clear, but only as far as Julian Brandt could line up a shot. Diogo Jota could do something similar. Can't get to him. Marino, Jota again. It's opened up! 2-1 Liverpool. Diogo Jota with a very good finish. We're behind again. Omar Richards down the line. Terrier looking to turn away from Trent. He's done that brilliantly. Jonathan David just goes on a run. I could find him. We could instantly equalise. Oh, Bremer! What a block! What an unbelievable block. I slowed down just to make sure I got a better shot. And, oh, I can't believe the defenders got back to it. We're not going to win any headers against De Ligt or Bremer either, are we? Oh, Niakate might. Julian Brandt clears away. Up we go, please, Omar Richards. He's flicked that on nicely. Mangala has the option here. There's still a little bit of time at the end of the half. Go on, Joe. Go on, Joe. Still going. Joe Willock. Hudson, no! Hudson-Odoi. I was trying to turn on it. And De Ligt gets a foot in. Liverpool defending very well. Unfortunately for us, we are behind at the break, but we could be level. We are in this game. Back on his left. Jota, good block by Klosterman. Omar Richards needs to get rid of this and has. We'll look out wide. Wasn't meant for you, Jonathan. It was meant for this man. But, oh. Yes, come on, he's powered past. Tuck it back. Please be onside. Hudson-Odoi! He's onside this time. Nottingham Forest 2. Liverpool 2. We refuse to be beaten by the side that normally play their football in the red at home. They're in their changed away yellow strip today, and it's not bringing them any good luck. They have been good defensively, but with the nature of their press, if you get in behind, you're going to cause them trouble. We have done that. 2-2. Yates to Klosterman. This Liverpool press is just infuriating because very often you don't have anywhere to go. Curtis Jones needs to get to that, and he hasn't. I tried to dink it down the line to Callum Hudson-Odoi, in all honesty, but it didn't want to find its way. Diogo Jota winds up. Mangala on the break. Come on, then. Done it again, Liverpool. They've pressed too much. Martin Terrier in behind. He's much faster than De Ligt. I'm going to drill this because there is Joe Willock arriving late. Nottingham Forest 3. Liverpool 2. They can't win the title this year, Liverpool. I don't know what the situation is with falling out of the top 4, but if they continue to press like this, it's only going to cause them more and more issues. Lovely finish, Joe Willock. Foot right through it. Brilliant goal. We lead at home against Liverpool. This is the sort of form and performances that saw us finish 6th last year and saw us hold a top 4 spot all the way until the final day. We are genuinely a good side with some brilliant players, and we're going to be in again here. Joe Willock. Oh, he's taking the piss now! 4-2, Joe Willock with the dink! Yes! Say that again, thank you very much. Liverpool again, it's the press. So unfortunately, something that we see all too often with Liverpool and Manchester City. They just don't press intelligently. And it's a little bit game-breaking, really. Hopefully that's altered and fixed for 23. Because it's been an issue for 22, for 21, for 20. Faith in it being fixed for 23 isn't all that high. But they just don't do it intelligently. And as such, you have the opportunity, occasionally, if they don't do it right, to punish them. And punish them, we are doing. Willock's on a hat-trick, but he won't get it yet. They're just vulnerable. So very, very, very vulnerable. I've tried to play the ball there. I think I've missed it. And caught Diaz, but no penalty given. They just push far too much. But you guys know that, because they do it against you as well. He's caught me there. Look for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Loft it back into the middle. Oh, it might go in! I was trying to cross it to the back post. Very nearly. Lobbed Alisson for a second time today. We will take the victory, though. 4-2 at home against Liverpool. That's what this team is capable of. Although, obviously, on this occasion, certainly a generous helping hand from some dodgy game mechanics. But we'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. Brighton lose, which is good for us. Didn't quite see any of the other sides around us as well there. We are up to 12th and can go above Brighton on the final day if we win and they draw or lose. We need to win. They need to fail to win. We've 8th place Newcastle on that final day. Southampton might well go above us between now and then. But they haven't played yet. Actually, we could go above Everton too. We could yet still finish up in 11th place. What's Everton's goal difference like? Please, actually, if Everton have... Please tell me Everton have Brighton and they draw. That would be banging. Brighton have Manchester United away. Well, they're not going to win that, are they? Everton have Bournemouth at home. They should win that, to be fair. But we could certainly finish 12th. Who's Southampton got in their game in hand? Manchester City away. Unlucky, lads. They should lose that. And then on the final day, Arsenal at home. Southampton with some difficult fixtures, you know. They're being played on this Wednesday. Of course! Southampton win! Southampton win 1-0 away from home at the Etihad. Manchester City lose only their 3rd game of the whole season, and it means I can't finish 11th. Well, I can, actually. I thought they were on 45. I can still finish 11th, but I need Southampton to lose, Everton to draw or lose, and Brighton to draw or lose, and we need to win. Everton's goal difference is currently better than mine, but if they draw and we win, we'll go above them. So if Southampton lose and Everton and Brighton both fail to win and we get victory against Newcastle, it will be 11th place for us this season. At present, it's 14th. Let's go and play the final day and see what's what. The task on the final day is against a 4-5-1 for Newcastle. Nick Pope still in between the sticks for them. Maffeo, Ben White, Kurt Zuma and Matt Targett. Sigankov, Emre Can, Hakan Calhanoglu and Alan Saint-Maximin alongside Christoph Baumgartner in the midfield with Duvan Zapata at 82 rated now. Declining Duvan. He was 84, I believe, earlier on in the season. Fraser, they've got Sven Botman on the bench, who's a good option. Naby Keita, who's decent as well, but other than that, not much Newcastle. We do have the better 11. We do have the better squad. The league table doesn't show that. It did last year. Should we keep our job? I'm pretty sure it will next year as well. But for the time being, we're just going to try and do what we can here. All we want to do is get a win. Then we can think about other teams' results. But first and foremost, we need the victory here at the City Ground. Otherwise, other results elsewhere don't matter. Big switch by Mongala. Out to Williams. Forward to Ramsey. Looking through for Willock, who does get to that. Callum Hudson-Odoi does love to run offside, frustratingly, but Jacob Ramsey's still there. And I'll get that across to Mangala. Might have to go all the way out wide. We will indeed. You see how Duvan Zapata's dropping deep and getting stuck in defensively. His work rate's great, but it just means that there's just so many bodies to try and get the ball round. Somehow, I'm still in possession here. I'm not anymore. But because Duvan Zapata's dropped so deep, they now have no options to get the ball to for a breakaway. Unless, of course, Viktor Sigankov is going to leave Omar Richards for dead and just disappear down the pitch, which is exactly what's happened here. Thank you. We've won it back again. Oh, I say won it back again. They've given it back to me. Looking for Mangala, finding Jonathan David. Looking for Mangala, finding Terrier. I wanted to give it to you, Oral. I want to give it to you, pal. But apparently I'm just not allowed. I'll be curious to see at the end of this season how many games he's played for Tottenham. So if he's not played much, then I might try and get him back. Hudson-Odoi. Beautifully played. Jonathan David's in. Surely then, 1-0. We lead! A very simple goal. Newcastle opened up by a couple of easy passes. But to be fair, I can't play the easy pass without the movement from Jonathan David. Running with one defender on one side of him and looking to run in behind another. So the defenders are just drawn out of position. It's all about the movement of the front man there. If he makes the wrong run, I can't get it to him. But he makes the right run. We do find him. And we do score his 21st goal of the season in the 22nd minute. And we lead by a goal to nil at home against Newcastle United. Jacob Ramsey finds Jonathan David again. He could be getting goal 22. But that's crashed off the top of Willock's head. And will be a simple goal kick. Class talent out on the right-hand side of their attack that's left Omar Richards a little bit lost at times. Omar Richards may well be one of the players we look to replace in the starting lineup next season as we try and firm up defensively a little bit more. We've clearly unlocked the goal-scoring potential in this team, as we've seen with the change in tactics and the change in playing staff. We just need to now stop the ball going in the back of the net quite so much. We haven't fully unlocked the goal-scoring talent, goal-scoring capabilities, evidently, because I'm still giving it away and not scoring as many goals as I should be. But we're still getting results at this stage, so I'm really happy with how we've ended the season. It could easily have gone the other way, and in other saves it has done. Specifically, the Chesnoid FC save. We made some good improvements in January in Season 1 in that save and still ended up getting relegated. But we found the quality on this occasion. We will stay up, and in the end, stay up well. Delighted with the second half of the season. Pleased with the first half here at Newcastle against Newcastle, and hopefully we'll be pleased with the whole season this time next year. Baumgartner into Emre Can. Oh, good save. Onside, Duvan Zapata there. Good run. Perfect pass. Not got the finish on the end of it. Newcastle looking to equalise before half-time. Viktor Sigankov delivers. Nico Williams should get to that. He doesn't. And no, we're sliding off. Trying to power up a clearance. Ref, please. Thank you. I'd have lost my shit. Goal for Bournemouth. That's important. That's Everton now losing. So we are going above Everton as it stands. An extra place for us in the league table. Thank you, Bournemouth. Perfectly timed. That's a great ball to Sigankov. A lovely first touch as well. He's been so impressive, Viktor Sigankov. Really, really been great for Newcastle in this game. If they're to score, he certainly deserves to be involved in it, whether it's a goal or an assist, because been very impressed with him so far in this one. Joe Willock just trying to wriggle free and find some space. He's done well. Williams, unfortunately for Sigankov, well, not necessarily unfortunately for Sigankov, because he's probably very happy at Newcastle. Unfortunately for me, if I was to try Sigankov, it would have to be later on in the save, because certainly we're happy enough with Terrier and Callum Hudson-Odoi since they've come in, and neither deserve to be dropped and or replaced in the starting lineup. Sigankov really is just spectacular, and he's involved, and it has been a goal for Newcastle. The right back Maffeo buries it, and they're level. We are now not overtaking Everton in the table, despite the fact that Bournemouth are winning. We no longer are ourselves. I need a goal. Otherwise, it will be 13th for us this season and maybe 14th. Sigankov looking to get past Omar Richards and has done so. Made the change to bring Maitland-Niles on. That hit an arm, so it's going to be a free kick. Maitland-Niles is coming on at left back to have some fresh legs to try and deal with Victor Sigankov. Also making a couple of other changes. Elise is coming on for Joe Willock, and Emmanuel Dennis is on the right-hand side for a tiring Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's basically a case of next goal wins here. And there's that next goal. But Elliot Anderson is offside. Very lucky. Again, a dodgy attempted save from the goalkeeper. Basically just lay down there at his near post. Another indication of why we absolutely need to move Unai Simon on. We might well be able to sign someone that is much better, that has a lower overall rating. He definitely doesn't play like an 86 rated goalkeeper, does he? Michael Elise trying to find a ball around the corner. Perhaps should have looked for Terrier there, but I didn't really glance at him. 6.5 minutes to go. If we want to finish any higher in the league, we need a goal. That's loose. We might be able to get the goal. Jonathan David looking for Emmanuel Dennis. Elise is there in the middle. Ramsey. Mongala. There is Elise. This time we will look for Terrier. I was just trying to find the space to get the pass around the corner. I've given it away. Newcastle could win it yet still as well. Don't rule them out from all 3 points here. It's a brilliant ball into Ryan Fraser, who's come off the bench. Maitland-Niles trying to deal with it here. Fraser delivers. This could be nodded home. Keeper gets up. 2 minutes added on. Come on then. Let's have a last-minute winner in the last game of the season to really prove that we're the real deal next year. Looking for Elise. He's in behind. Elise. Jonathan David. Oh, you beauty! The last kick of the season is to win a game to boost our league position. Oh, praise Jonathan David. One of the biggest impacts any single player has ever had in any save, I think. Certainly right up there. And Elise comes off the bench to get the assist as well. Chef's kiss, lads. Chef's kiss. That is his 22nd goal of the season. He scored 11 goals for Southampton in the first half, signed for me, and scored 11 goals for Nottingham Forest in the second half of the season. That was superb. Now, Everton were losing. We know that because we got the word about the Bournemouth goal from Alex Scott. What were Brighton doing? What was Southampton doing? That's what we need to know. We'll go to the post-match interview, but Southampton... Everton lost 2-0. I couldn't see Southampton or Arsenal there. Was I just being blind? I'm not sure. Jonathan David stealing the headlines, as he may well do. Couldn't have asked for more from him today. Couldn't have asked for more from him since he joined us. One of the best players we could possibly have had in that position. And we may well even end up finishing above the side that we signed him from. These lads keep on going to the very last minute. And they've needed to all season, and they have done this year. We've survived, and we've survived well. Forest picked up a point against Arsenal on the final day. They finish 11th, but we finish in 12th. Manchester City beat Leicester on the final day, but we couldn't have caught them. Everton lose to Bournemouth, and Brighton lost to Old Trafford. A 12th placed finish is certainly miles away from where we were just 3 or 4 months ago. We were rock bottom at the beginning of February even, I think. And we finish in 12th. Such a strong end to the season. As soon as we unlocked the goal-scoring potential in this team, the results came, the league position rocketed, and next year, if I keep my job, we're looking very, very decent indeed with some further improvements to the squad depth. Unfortunately for Sheffield United, Championship football, they'll be joined by Brentford and Bournemouth, who despite a win on the final day, are still 4 points clear of Aston Villa. At the top end of the table, City won the title yonks ago. Chelsea and Liverpool battled it out for second, and it was Chelsea that came out on top. Spurs, oh my lord. Spurs, West Ham, Wolves and Manchester United all on 65 points. Have you ever seen a closer battle for 4th place? I don't think so. Goal difference alone deciding 4th. And in fact, it wasn't even goal difference that decided 5th and 6th. It was goals scored. That's a tight bloody league, lads. We might have had a runaway winner at the top, and we might have had 3 teams cut adrift at the bottom, but those European spots, very hard fought. Particularly good indeed. We might as well continue the season roundup then as we look at the FA Cup, which is won by Manchester City. Actually, I'm going to have to advance a little bit to ensure that all of the other competitions have finished. So let me do that, and then we will have a full season roundup after that. Richards is very, very happy with his first team football. 144, give or take, £1 million added to the transfer budget. Not transfer budget, I hope transfer budget. Added to the club's coffers. Right then, I'll see you for a season roundup in a second. So then, season roundup time. All the other competitions that we were involved in, the large competitions around Europe, and maybe a slight think about the transfer window whilst looking at the squad and seeing how everyone's grown this year. The FA Cup, actually, as we saw earlier on, Manchester City won by 2-1 against Arsenal, so they've done the double. Did they do the treble? No. Spurs on penalties deny Manchester City a treble, although they might have the opportunity in the Champions League. Chelsea won the UEFA Super Cup against Manchester United. And Chelsea won the Champions League this year. Wow. So Chelsea finished second in the Premier League, won the UEFA Super Cup at the beginning of the year after winning the Europa League last year, and win the Champions League this year. How's that for a story? Atleti win against Barcelona in the Europa League. 2 clubs you would never expect to see in the Europa League. And Spurs won the Europa Conference League against Sevilla. The Euros are about to start. I'll quickly just show you the groups there. So we'll have a look at that at the beginning of next season to see how everyone's getting on. Team stats. No, I don't want team stats. I want player stats. Salah, top goal scorer, 26 in 38. Erling Haaland, 24. Our own Jonathan David, 3rd in the list, though. Our saviour, without any shadow of doubt. Jonathan David. Any other Forest players on there? Let's have a look down the list. I don't think so. I don't think anyone else got anywhere close to Jonathan David this season. I'd be surprised if anyone else scored more than Jonathan David in just his 6 months at the club. Kane with the most assists. De Ketelaere with 10 as well. Joe Willock there with 8. He was a revelation at Cannes. Once we swapped him and Jacob Ramsey around, we got so much more out of the team. It was so much more creative. Really pleased with that decision. Clean sheet wise, Unai Simon kept 11 clean sheets. Christ knows how. But that will put him right in the shop window because he is going. Now, one thing I will quickly double check is team stats. Team stats for Spurs. How many games did Dean Henderson play? 3 in the Premier League to 35 for Hugo Lloris, who is 37. If Hugo Lloris doesn't retire next season, I might be open to bringing Hendo back. Now, Spurs were in the Europa Conference League, weren't they? Was he playing for them in that competition? No. They're not even playing him as a cup keeper, Dean Henderson. Fuming. Dean Hendo. He left Manchester United to get first team football. We gave him it. He left us to make a step back up the division to play at a big team again. And they're not playing him. So it looks like, again, Dean Henderson might have to force his way out of a big club to find a slightly smaller club to get first team football again. Maybe we go back in for Dino and bring him back to the club. A quick look at the other leagues around Europe. If there are any big teams that have underperformed, we could maybe have a think about snapping up a goalkeeper from one of them. Fulham, wow, in the Championship. Back in the Premier League next year alongside Watford, who only got automatic promotion on goal difference ahead of Norwich, who will have to fight it out with Crystal Palace, Preston and Middlesbrough for a spot in the Premier League in the playoffs. Relegated from the Championship are Birmingham, MK Dons and Blackpool. In League One, Cardiff and Barnsley back to the Championship. Ipswich, Rotherham, Wigan and Burton in the playoffs. Relegated. Hey! Peterborough down to League Two. Exeter back down there as well. Bradford and Leyton Orient relegated. In League Two, Cambridge in the playoffs. Up the Yellers. Doncaster Rovers, Charlton and Walsall automatically promoted. Cambridge only 4 points off an auto spot. Mansfield, Cambridge, Crawley and Bristol Rovers in the playoffs. Up the Yellers. Come on, please tell me they get promoted. Relegated would have been Hartlepool and Stevenage on 41 and 39 points apiece. Oldham there, you can't quite see, on 49. So 8 and 10 points adrift. Those bottom two clubs. In League 1, PSG win the league. Lyon second. Marseille down in 5th. Still got European football. Nice in 7th. Maybe there's a Nice keeper we could pick up. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to think outside the box to replace Unai Simon at the minute. Dortmund down in 6th. Ugh. If they'd have finished 7th, I might have gone for Gregor Kerbel, in fact. Bayern Munich win the league in Germany by 5 points from Rasenballsport Leipzig, who are a long way clear of Wolfsburg and Frankfurt. And Leverkusen, in fact. So the battles for the European spots in Germany just as intense as they were in England. In Serie A, AC Milan win the league by a point from Juventus. Inter 3rd and Atalanta 4th. Napoli 5th, Roma 6th. Lazio in 7th. Would Lazio perhaps have a good goalkeeper? Maybe Alban Lafont, if he's still at Fiorentina, who finished 9th, could be an option. I don't know. Eredivisie, PSV from RZ, Ajax only 3rd. Ooh. Scenes in the Netherlands. In the Liga Portugal, or Liga Portuguesa, Porto top, Sporting 2nd, Benfica 3rd. We've signed a couple of players from Benfica in this save. They've done us proud. In the SPL, Rangers from Celtic. In La Liga, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Sevilla and Atleti, the top 4. Valencia only 8th. Sociedad 7th. Maybe we pick up a goalkeeper from Spain again. Athletic Club de Bilbao, only 9th. The club that we bought Unai Simon from in the first place. Was he from Sociedad? No. Unai Simon is Athletic Club de Bilbao, regardless. Either of them didn't finish very well this season. With regards to board objectives, and this is what I'm really nervous about, 45 is my manager popularity rating. We got a tick there, but not the bottom one. We got a tick there, but not the top one. We got a tick there. Didn't get any of the actual performance-based criteria, though. Grouped in the Europa League. Round of 16, we didn't reach in the FA Cup. Thank you, Bournemouth. I think it was Bournemouth that knocked me out. And obviously, our league position was nowhere near where it needed to be for the board. What happens next year, we don't yet know. We shall plan for next year, regardless of whether we're here or not. Unai Simon. He's 86 rated. He's valued at £46.5 million. He's not very good. He might have kept a lot of clean sheets, but he's just not great, Unai Simon. He's just not, especially at the near post. Skiotis up 5 out on loan. Trikoupis up 5 out on loan. Matthew Ryan, my backup. Ryan I will sell next season, and Trikoupis will be my backup goalkeeper as he's grown very well indeed. Still, his positioning is shite, but that's the nature of regen goalkeepers, unfortunately. Their positioning is always shite. Omar Richards, really unfortunate season for him. Injured for a spell, about 3 months or so, and we missed him, definitely. Up 2 to 81. Potentially replaceable in the starting lineup, depending on our budget next year. Alonso did a job. We'll sell him on. Biancone is still a good squad player. He might well be unhappy with his playtime, but he's still a good player to call upon should I need him. Badiashile, maybe I sell him and sign someone better, but I don't know. Anyone that's signed better will just have more demands for first team football, and I don't think Badiashile, Niakate or Klosterman are going to be knocked out of that first team rotation for the 2 spots. Badiashile up 1, Niakate up 2, and Klosterman not grown, but he did have an injury this year as well that saw him out for 3 months or so. And to be fair, Badiashile stepped up to the plate and did well when called upon. Florenzi's contract is going to expire. We've already replaced him with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Larea is up 1 to 75. He's a similar player to Biancone, whereas he's good enough to do a job, but if I replaced him with someone better, they still would be unhappy with the amount of football they're getting, so I might as well just keep the slightly lower rated player and save the money and spend it elsewhere. Nico Williams up 3 to 82. Very pleased with him this season. Hopefully he'll continue growing. Ryan Yates up 1 to 80. Not got anywhere near as much first team football this year as he has done previously. Been a first team starter every season so far up to this one. But still good enough, really, to do a job. He's only 26. His form's not great, but he's only 26. Lavia is up 2 out on loan. We'll send him out on loan again next year. I don't know what to do with Yates. I think he's, again, going to be a player that is pointless selling, because anyone that I buy to replace him is not going to be good enough to start, or I wouldn't want to start, because Willock, Ramsey and Mangala have been a great trio, haven't they, this year? Ramsey's up to 85. He's grown 5 ratings this year, Jacob Ramsey. Wow. Joe Willock is up 3 to 83 and has been brilliant since we moved him further forward. Mangala has just been rock solid in that defensive role. I would maybe think about replacing Mangala in that defensive role, but if I did, I would then sell Yates. I don't really want to sell Yates, and that trio kind of deserve the opportunity to kick on. Up to Tyler Cook at Sporting. Such an unfortunate fall off for him. He's still only 20. I'll send him out on loan again next year, and hopefully he'll really kick on. He was in our starting lineup season 1, and that long-term 7-month injury basically ruined his Nottingham Forest career. Real shame. Real shame. Michael Elise back into the fold, down 2, but only because of that long-term injury. Clearly, he's going to have some part to play next year as a backup in central midfield, and expect him to go up ratings next year as well. Bowman will send out on loan again. Hudson-Odoi, been brilliant for us since we brought him in. Absolutely superb. Couldn't have asked for more from him, to be honest. His assist capability is wonderful and certainly improves our team. Martin Terrier, 2 goals, 3 assists in 16 games isn't amazing, but we weren't amazing when he first came in, and he certainly added to the team. Don't think I'm going to replace him. Alex Maiton, similarly to Larea and Biancone, I just don't see the point in selling him on at this stage. He's just going to be good backup, and evidently earlier on in the season we really struggled with some backup, didn't we? Karamoko Dembele, I may send him out on loan next year because I only used him once and he was shit, but I signed him for free just to add numbers to the squad, and next year I might look to sell him on. Maybe I loan him. Maybe it's a waste to sell him, but don't know. Jonathan David, mwah, love the man. Brilliant for us. And hopefully we'll have just as good a season next year as he had this year. And if he can score as well for us for a full season as he did in a half season, then we've got a cracking chance of finishing well next year again. Cali Muendo. He's a player that has not flourished yet, but at just 22 has the opportunity to. I will not give up on Cali Muendo. He'll be a cup starter for us next year, and certainly has the potential to grow very well. Emmanuel Dennis, another squad player. I maybe loan Dembele, sell Dennis, and then buy an 80 to 82 rated winger that can be backup, go-to backup, that can really make an impact off the bench to Terrier and Hudson-Odoi. So I think next season I'm going to be looking for a brand new goalkeeper, maybe a left back, probably not a centre back, but maybe a centre back, but I doubt it. I don't think a right back. I don't think a centre mid. Maybe a centre mid, but probably only as backup. Don't know. And then probably a winger as well. So starting goalkeeper, rotation winger, maybe a rotation centre mid too, that's slightly higher rated than Cook or Yates. We've got Elise in there as well. We don't need much. I could go out and splash loads of cash, but I don't think we really need to. The way that we've ended this season has shown that there is quality in the side. So, now there's one big question. There's no point planning for next season if we ain't going to fucking be here, is there? Cali Muendo's actually grown, has he? He's now to 82. He's just going to get better then, isn't he? Cali Muendo's absolutely worth keeping. Oh, hello! Unai Simon, bid from Bayern Munich. Do I want an 84 rated 30-year-old Thomas Partey? I mean, maybe. But I'd like some more money. If I can negotiate... I'd take Thomas Partey for a year. Who wouldn't in that situation? He's going to be better than Mangala. And then Ryan Yates would probably move out. Proposed new transfer fee. Give me... Because Partey's valued at 30. So I need at least 15 just to get value for Unai Simon. And he's 27 rated at 86. I'm going to ask for 30 million. They're not going to give me it. I will remove the sell-on clause because that artificially inflates the price. They give me 25 plus Thomas Partey. They can have him. And it looks like he's going to go to Bayern. Unai Simon will go and join former teammate Gonzalo Ramos out at Bayern Munich, presumably. Thomas Partey will come in. My actions required. Thomas Partey now needs to have a contract negotiated with him because it looks like Unai Simon is on his way out. I'm quite happy to sell Unai Simon to Bayern, and actually we might look at Bayern. This sorts the midfield situation out, doesn't it? We might look at Bayern to maybe sign another goalkeeper. Maybe they have someone that they're replacing that isn't good enough. 3 years for Thomas Partey. He's now actually aged up to 31. I'll disregard the release clause. I will have Thomas Partey for a season, and then we will look to sell him on. But this gets Unai Simon out the door and gives us a decent amount of money and a quality player in return as well. So I think that's going to be Unai Simon out the door then. Player's contract expiring, Alessandro Florenzi. I presume that that's just been done now. No, he's still on international duty. It's not confirmed yet. Unai Simon still needs to negotiate a contract with Bayern Munich. And I don't know as he actually has. Oh no, maybe he has, but it's not going to go through until the new season. Maybe that's what's happening. Well, we would like you to remain in post for the next season. I have a job. Right then. Yes! Join me tomorrow for episode 1 of season 4. Operation Survive, successful. Now it's Operation Do a Leicester. We improve the squad. We go for top 4 at least, if not the title. Bring it on. I'll see you tomorrow.